You, the guy she tells you not to worry about, the other guy she tells you not to worry about, and the other guy she tells you not to worry about. Yeah, you got a lot to worry about. It's time to. Blender's metal has a problem. It's just too plain. Just look at it, looking all shiny and innocent, like it didn't just rev up my laptop for no reason. Today, I'll be showing you 3 incredible techniques ranging from beginner to expert that will take your metal to the next level. And stick around till the end, cause I've got something special to give you. Starting with the first and the easiest kind. This is one technique you might have done before. You got on a brush metal texture from like Quixel Bridge, clicked on the import button. Oh no, where's my fucking import button?
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy.
Side tangent, what in the world are the execs at Epic Games smoking? Bridge was perfect. You would click on the import button and bam, it's in my Blender scene. And now I gotta go to this dog shit of a site called Fab and they plan on taking my boy Sketchy down with it too. I want my fucking bridge back. Do you hear me, Epic Games? I want my fucking bridge back. That got a lot more heated than I expected. Anyways, back to the video. So you might have imported a brush texture pack only for it to look like your uncle's bald scalp. Well, the fix is quite simple. All you gotta do is take this add-on called Deep Bump, install it, and then use it on your initial texture map, and then hook it up to your principal PSDF. And now your metal is slightly more cultured and has a personality. While we are at it, let's get another trick out of the way. Ever tried applying a similar texture to a circular face only for it to turn out to be straight as fuck? The thing is, you can have the texture revolve around in a circle, but not just like that. All you gotta do is take your circular face, inset it a couple of times, go into the UV editor, select one of the quads, select one of the edges belonging to the quad and click on the auto align feature. This has straightened the edge. Do the same for the remaining edges of the quad. Now select the quad, right click to bring up the context menu and select follow active quads. Now all the faces in the circle follow this straight quad and now your texture magically orients itself in a circular manner. Moving on to the next metal power up. Have you ever wanted your metal to have a homosexual charm? Well, you've come to the right place. You'll find plenty of tutorials online on how to make your metal look like a unicorn opened its gaping bottom hole on it. What? That's so fucking intense, man. What the fuck? Well, anyway, what I'm trying to say is that the tutorials on YouTube are
The biggest piece of dog shit.
and a few updates ago, even Blender released an iridescent thing in their principal BSDF, and to my surprise, it doesn't work on metals. So I got to working and found this insane iridescent material. The shader was made by this guy, but there's a slight problem with it. You see, this mad lad simulates all these effects using code and math that gives my brain an aneurysm. Because of that, his shader kind of looks like this, filled with arbitrary parameters. So I just happened to condense it down to this easy to understand node group, which almost does the same thing. I mean, it slightly deviates from its photorealism, but underneath it, it runs the same shader which this guy came up with. And if you want the original shader straight from the plug, I have mentioned the article in which he talks about how he came up with the shader and how to use it down in the description. And as for my shader, I've provided the link for it for free in the description below too. But I gotta say, if you really want some insanely photorealistic, good looking iridescence, then you gotta check out his stuff. It's a little complicated, but once you wrap your head around it, it's so worth it. Moving up to the next buff, we got the expert type shit. What I am about to reveal you brings about an insane level of detail to your metals that you have never seen before. You know those scratches when you take out your phone from your pocket filled with sand? And now it's got that tiny circular scratches thingy? Well, now you can replicate that with this insane method I found. From the crazy amount of R&D that I did, evident from my upload schedule, I discovered that to replicate this kind of effect, you need two things: a special kind of texture and special lighting conditions. Let's tackle the easy part first, the lighting conditions. The lighting should be such that light originates from strong finite sources like a point lamp or an area lamp. That means to see this kind of effect, HDRIs and soft ass lightings don't fly. And now onto the tricky part, the texture. This one is a bit of a deep dive. If you'd like to grab it as a ready to use shader, you can get it from my Blender Market /Superhive page. Totally optional though, I'm showing the exact same process I used to make the shader. Alright, let's get into the boring part. Open a new blend file, delete everything except the camera, Mine doesn't have anything except this Trojan horse that's about to hold my laptop for a ransom because I got my Blender from this strange looking site. Set the resolution to something square. In my case, I want a 4K file, so I'll set it to a resolution of 4096 to 4096. Next, I'll align my camera to point directly downwards towards the world origin. Remove perspective from my camera because who needs that when you got ChatGPT to do all your thinking. Next up, add a straight line as a curve into my scene. Give this a little width. A value of 0.1 meters works best for me. Put this line in a separate collection, call it whatever you want. Now we're gonna assign this line a material. Go into the shader editor and give it a new material. Turn the emission color to white, give it a strength of 10, and that's the material assigned. Change the render engine to Eevee and set the world color strength to 0. Now select your line and duplicate it until you have about 500 to 1000 lines. Now select all your lines and press F3. Search for randomized transform and mess around with the Z rotation and the XYZ transformation till you get a result you like. And for the final step, you just gotta render it out and you got this pristine looking scratch texture. Now to use this, import it into the blend file. We're gonna use the add-on again, Deep Pump. That will help us turn this into a normal map. Now connect this to your regular mapping nodes and set the normals into the normal input to your principal BSDF, and that's the effect. Again, you can buy the shader from my Gumroad/Blender Market. You could also experiment with this further, and yeah, that about wraps up. And this is where I was going to end the video, but since you have made it this far, I got one more trick up my sleeve. It's time for a... Have you seen reflections on metallic surfaces make these cool star-like shapes? Well, let me show you how to make this effect. All you gotta do is get a glossy shader, give it some appropriate settings, now duplicate it and do 1 plus 1 equal 2 and add them up with the add shader. Mess around with the rotation. Set it to 2.5 because you want it to be perfectly perpendicular, and that's your shader. You could connect a single value node to control the anisotropy of both the glossy shaders together, and you could use this node setup to control the reflections together. If you want more pointy ends in your stars, you could always just do this, and yeah, that's the fucking shader, and just another trick to add more depth to your reflections. And yeah, that about wraps up the metal buffs I found to make your metal game stronger. As always, check out my Instagram, subscribe and all. That's a wrap. Stay curious, stay ethical, and once in a while, inspect your tech.